Hey, thanks very much, Michelle, and good morning to everyone. We'll tell you why we're here surrounded by all this fabulous wood and design in just a few moments. At SteelWood Design, where we're using some materials that you might not typically think of for design. So Jody and Riaz, we know this is steel, this base of this lamp, but what do you think the source of this is? If you can take a guess, we're going to share that with you coming up next. All right, so we're going to find out what this is. Alexis, what exactly is that?
That is an old garage door spring.
What?
So if you cut a garage door spring, the old ones that you used to have to lift with your hands, if you cut it along the straight edge, it will actually pop circles off. Oh, here you go.
Here's what it looks. So this is. Oh my gosh, that's heavy.
This is what it was, and you just take a zip blade and circles come off.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the thing. We're here at SteelWood Design, and Alexis, you are the designer or artiste, however we want to call it, because I think it's kind of all-encompassing. But I was surprised to know that you actually were an esthetician.
Yes, I was.
How does this happen?
I like to take ugly things and make them beautiful.
And so that worked, I guess, for everything, right?
Yeah, yeah, gross feet, nice feet. I wasn't a fluffy esthetician. I was an esthetician that liked to get the nitty-gritty detail work, right? So no massage, none of that. Just get good feet. And I took it to this.
Okay.
Ugly steel, a weight rack that had been rusted outside of our house for probably 15 years. Now it's a pretty wicked lamp.
And this here?
That's a dragger chain from my dad's buddy Pete up on the north, on the coast, and now it's an awesome lamp.
So I'm gathering that you actually, you reclaim a lot of things.
Yes,
so
all reclaimed.
You don't necessarily go buy that piece of wood specifically.
Nothing's bought. We reclaim everything. We get in the bin physically ourselves, my dad and I, and
here you are. Here you are with these fabulous designs, which, by the way, Jody and Riaz, we will be learning how to maybe do little bits and pieces of how to make certain things. I don't profess to think that we are going to be making an actual lamp, but we might do a little welding. We might clean a little wood. More details on SteelWood Design, go to their website. But how fantastic is this? And we've got Alexis and her dad Fred over there. Coming up next, Jody and Riaz, we're going to be, I guess, planing a piece of wood. We're also going to be talking a bit about how moisture affects working with reclaimed wood. We're going to be doing what with this wood here?
We're planing it. We're going to make it fresh and new.
Okay, so this is what it looks like before. Let's run it through the planer. I'll warn our viewers at home right now. It's going to be a little bit loud, but it's a short period of time. Go ahead.
It's fir. Sorry, it's fir.
Awesome. This is your dad, by the way. You guys work together, and this is your background working with wood. And
well, not really, but I've learned that over the years.
Over the years. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Before we got it to this point, you actually had to get the bark off, right?
We had to get the log.
Okay.
Then we had to get the log cut. Then we had to make planks. So we get the log cut into planks, and then we have to chip the bark off. And then we have to cut these flat, and then it goes in there.
And then it goes in there. So getting the bark off, it's literally just sort of prying it away.
Yes, just using your chisel and going at it.
Now let's talk a little bit about the wood, because obviously it's reclaimed. It's not necessarily easy to just work with it right away, because moisture actually affects it, right?
Yes, that's the problem I've had, is everyone thinks, oh, it's reclaimed, so it should be like cheap and easy, and there's wood everywhere, and it's actually not the case. It takes so much time to actually get the wood dry, where you could go to Dick's Lumber or whatever and buy it dry, kilned and everything.
And how it dries is something as well. You've actually got one that's sort of laid out over there, and why is it kind of all hooked up that way? Yeah.
Because it's trying to split and curl and warp and bow and check. It has a mind of its own. So we're trying to make it dry in the way we want it to dry. And it's fighting us.
It's fighting you, but this is basically the start of what will become a table. Now, if you want to catch Alexis's works, you've got an exhibition happening at Edgemont Village, I believe. And what's the store?
Tartuffe Design.
And that's tomorrow?
Tomorrow at 5 to 8.
Perfect. And Jody and Riaz, you can also get her designs online as well. So go to the website for more details. Lots more coming up. Gone from the woodworking process, Jody and Riaz. Coming up next, we're going to be doing a little welding. And yes, you know what? I've got a little lesson, so I'm going to get my safety gear all ready to go. Luke, I am your father. I had to do that for our producer, Deb. She's dying for me to do that. Yeah, you know what? We're going to talk welding right now. And Alexis, wow, that was bright. My goodness. Okay, so we're here at SteelWood Design. You're so quick on that. That was excellent. So we've been working with wood earlier. Now we're actually going to work with the steel part of it. Let's talk a little bit about where you get your steel.
Oh, I get my steel in bins everywhere, and the boys at New Dimensions also are nice enough to give me all the cutoffs from their water jet machine. So I get it everywhere. So then we were able to mix chain with stainless steel to have a different sort of look.
Because we were seeing actually earlier that some of the, the lamps that you were working with, had a combination obviously between like a lampshade or possibly some wood and then something like steel. So with that though, you do have to have a bit of expertise in something like welding, right?
Yes. Yes, you can't erect chain without welding.
so we're going to see how hard it is because I'm going to get a bit of a lesson from you. So let's get our safety gear all ready to go. And if you can talk me through the process, I'll get this all ready to go, I guess, and you can talk me through it.
So you hold this.
Okay.
There's a trigger there.
All right.
You want to get as close. You want to get close but not touching. And then you want to fire it away.
Okay, now I saw lots of sparks when you're doing it. Do I need to worry about getting burned?
No. Well, you do if you're doing it naked.
Okay. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. Okay.
Not today, not on this show.
All right, so,
So you want to go there?
Yep.
And then you just want to start. Push the trigger.
Oh.
There you go.
Just like that?
Yeah, and you just weave slightly. And there you go. Yours is just as good as mine.
Well, I wouldn't say it's just as good as yours, but if people want to see your great work, there is an exhibit happening tomorrow in North Vancouver, Edgemont Village. Details coming up on your screen. That was great.
Thank you.
I feel very powerful. That must be one of the side effects of working like this.
Nothing better than to melt steel in the morning.
There's the quote of the day, Jody and Riaz. Love it. For more details on her designs, again, you can go see the exhibit, but she also can order online as well. Go to her website. Working with steel and wood, so SteelWood Design and Alexis. Again, let's just talk a bit about your concept here because you have some fabulous designs that people might not expect some of the materials that you're using.
No, they do not expect it. Would you expect it?
I wouldn't. I'd be like, isn't that something I'm supposed to drag out of the yard?
Yeah, like get rid of it,
Get
right?
it out of the way. And then you actually are able to transform it into a great lamp base. So how do you get from here to here?
A lot of grinding, a lot of elbow grease.
Okay.
So there's different levels of grinders, obviously, just like a nail file or whatnot. But this base was this base.
Right.
And ground and ground and ground and then lacquered. And then this post was that post.
And so how do you come up with your ideas?
Dad and I, we kind of call it the think tank. We just sort of putter and he says, well, what if we did this? And I say, well, what if we moved it just like this? And then it sort of just morphs into this.
Wow.
Morph, yeah.
And we were talking a little earlier, I mean, you actually were trained and worked as an esthetician and you've gone quite the, the turnaround.
Totally.
Now, where can people get your works?
Tartufel in Edgemont Village.
Okay.
And online at steelwooddesign.com.
Excellent. By the way, that exhibition is happening tomorrow for anyone that wants to go. Is it 5 o'clock to?
5 to 8.
5 to 8.
Edgemont Village, Tartufel.
And so when you work with your dad all the time, do you ever argue? Do you ever butt heads about?
You never stop being your father's daughter. You know, my daughter will always, even when she gets married, she'll still be my child, right? And so there is those sort of elements of Alexis. Alexis.
But there's a creative process as well. Again, for more details on SteelWood Design, you can go to the website, Jody and Riaz.